Hello everyone. Today I'm at the launch of Sunshine Plaza's new development and it is crazy busy. So Sunshine Plaza is the biggest shopping centre here on the Sunshine Coast. It's now got a new David Jones, it's got a Myer, there's a heap of specialties. H&M just moved in, a new Rebel, you name it, it's here. And so today's probably going to be, today's like Christmas trading type busy because of all the fanfare, with the new opening. And I hope you can hear me okay, by the way. When it comes to actually doing a deal in these places, though, you need to be very careful. They really are a graveyard for mum and dad investors. Typically, the bigger chains are in the shopping centres more so than mum and dad investor types, and I kind of steer clear of the shopping centres myself. They like the chains in here because if the franchisee goes under, they can just flip that store and make a whole nother profit on it. But from the shopping centre's perspective, the store stays open because they've got that backing of the corporation. There's a lot of big name brands in these places too who do all right because of the fact that they've got a competitive edge with their buying power. So their cost of goods are quite low because of the sheer volume they go through. That's why there's many big names in here like Portman's and R.M. Williams and your Rebel Sport and all those big names, the real household names. But as far as like doing a deal in these kind of places, I never rule them out completely. I have done some good deals in the past in big centres, but this is my strategy, okay? I'm going to give you my number one tip to actually landing a good deal in a shopping centre, all right? So first of all, if you don't know what you're doing, of course, like any retail deal, you shouldn't be getting involved, all right? So for our clients, what we will do is we'll have multiple deals going at the same time, multiple strategies, and we put a figure on the table that works for us, and that's it. They can take it or leave it. When they realise that you will walk away from the negotiating table and that you're not really fussed if they accept or not, well then you've got a lot more bargaining power. And I tell you what, you really need to do that because shopping centres have a lot of competition, but they also have high rents, high costs associated with everything. Like every cost conceivable that they can put on you, they will. And another thing you should realise about corporations that run these places, okay, they're not like individuals. They have no heart, no soul. They will not be fussed in the least about what your personal circumstances are. If you simply cannot pay the rent, you're out. And not only that, you will probably be in more trouble than you know what to do with. So when it comes to actually getting a good deal in these places, you need a strong advisor, a strong negotiator. Otherwise, they will take full advantage of you. All right? And let me just say one more thing about getting the right advice. A lawyer will not be able to help you cut a deal. Okay? A lawyer is only really good for when you take your lease, when you have negotiated the terms, then you take your lease to the lawyer to make sure that lease agreement says exactly what you have already negotiated. But don't look to a lawyer to help you find the right location or negotiate the best deal possible because that's not what their role really is, and they just don't have the expertise or the experience in the coffee game anyway. So but you can see it's busy. It is super busy here today. Yeah, there's a lot of shops open, but a lot of people walking around. I don't know how much buying is going on. You can really see a lot of the business owners in these places too. Some of them are like virtual slaves in reality. They are, whether you're making money or not in a place like this, you are forced to stay open, all right? So just because a business is open doesn't mean that they're making a profit, all right? They're really stuck. And so you need to be aware of all these things. Craig, do you think the new censor will restrict what a coffee shop can sell? Absolutely. That's another good point Craig raises. When you sign a lease, when you go into a shopping centre and you cut a deal in a place like this, they really control everything about you, about your branding, about what you look like, about your fit out. It's all got to be approved by a design review committee, all right? And also within that whole review process too, before they even agree to you, to the terms, that sort of thing, they'll put restrictions on exactly what you can sell. So typically for a coffee shop, right, it's going to be, you need to put forward your menu and exactly what's on it. And then you cannot deviate from that. If down the track you want to add an exciting new menu option, and it's not on the list, or you hadn't thought about it prior, then you're going to be in a tough position where you have to go to them and beg for permission to put, to sell a new product line that maybe your business drastically needs. So that's not ideal. It's not an ideal position to be in. So these are all things that you need to be aware of and to consider carefully before you consider going into a shopping centre. Hi Pauline. If you've got any questions, by the way, guys, just pop them in the chat. Do my best to answer them for you. Yeah, it is nice though. They've done a good job. It's a beautiful centre. You're welcome, Craig. Cheers, mate. It's one of the nicest shopping centres actually I've probably been in. Especially outside, they've got the boardwalk beside the water. Some great dining options out there. But apart from that, look, Craig, it's Lend-Lease, this centre. Yeah, they're another corporate giant. Actually, this is one of their most successful stores, they claim. So, yeah. Personally, it'd have to be a really good deal for me to ever go back into a shopping centre. And so, to get a good deal, you've always got to be prepared to walk away. You need to know exactly what your numbers should look like. You need to put them on the table, and then call me when you decide. Take it. I'll take it or leave it. I'm not going to deviate from these numbers. And look, if they come back to you and say yes, well then, okay. But typically in shopping centres, they're pretty rigid. You will not get in here for under 100 grand a year for a coffee site, unless it's like a pop-up weekend temporary thing. Okay, so you need to make a lot of coffee to cover that rent. Craig says, way too hard, as I assume they would expect you to be open the same hours as the centre. Yeah, absolutely. You need to be open, and this will all be in your lease. You know, there'll be set hours. You need to be open 7 days a week, and it's something like 8:30 a.m. till 5 p.m. 10 o'clock on a Sunday or 4 o'clock or something like that. But, you know, yeah, it's really, really tough on mum and dad operators because they just become a slave to their business 9 times out of 10. And whether they're making money or not, they're stuck. I'm glad this is all in a private group, by the way. I don't need Lend-Lease or Westfields finding these comments I'm making. But look, someone needs to actually paint an accurate picture of what retail coffee looks like in shopping centres today. Seriously, there are so many mum and dad investors that have gone into these places, whether it be independently or more often with a franchise, and have done their dough. Some really, really harrowing stories to come out of the Senate inquiry into franchising. You can check it all out online. Anyway, that's the purpose of Kickstart Coffee, to save you from making these sort of decisions and to give you the support you need to make sure that you start smart, save yourself hundreds of thousands. Might go for a little walk, eh? Show you around. I'll flip it around. See that little coffee shop there? You know, like for a space that big, it'd be costing them an absolute fortune, and they're nowhere near busy enough. Even on a day like today, they should be a lot busier. Got a DJ over here. Just doing some mixing before and stuff. That new store, Shapora. Shoppers really are spoilt for choice, but there is so much on offer in here. Here's David Jones. Okay guys, that's all I wanted to show you and tell you, and no more questions. If you've got any more, just pop them in the chat box and I'll get to them later. Hope that's helped. Cheers guys, bye for now.